It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining me on today's program. Got a great show lined up for you today. We start talking about LT Overton and the impact that not having him will play on the SEC championship game. So as we start out the broadcast, first of all, thank you very much for being here. Today is Thursday, December 4th. I'd love a Roll Tide inside the comment box. Please let me know where you're watching from, as you usually do. Yesterday was fun. A lot of news coming in. With signing day. I hope you guys enjoyed the coverage. It was fun to talk about the prospects that have signed with the Alabama Crimson Tide, and you look to the class of 2026. I think there's a lot to be excited about. There's a lot of moving parts, okay? I know Alabama basketball played last night. You got the signing class in. The big injury news is kind of where we'll start right now with LT Overton. And as we get the broadcast started, I just want to ask you inside the comment box, please answer, what do you think the impact to not having LT Overton available for Georgia is on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the most impactful? Look, there's no way to spin it. LT Overton is absolutely a guy, right? He's been a starter. He's been honestly one of the better transfers that we've had here at Alabama over the last couple years. You look at the transfers that Coach Kalen DeBoer brought in. Journey Bernard, one of the top dogs, of course. LT Overton certainly up there. I think he does have a huge impact. And you look at his numbers, he has 33 tackles this year in 4 quarterback sacks. I do feel at times I'd like to see him get a little bit more pressure, but I like him, man. I think he's done a great job, and at times he's played at a very high level pretty much consistently. So I do feel it's a big loss, and everybody's lost. Everybody's hurting right now at this point in time, right? You kind of look at the injury report for Georgia. You look at it for Bama. You look at it for other teams. This is an NFL-type season. But I want to walk you off the ledge a little bit because the guys behind him, and I'll showcase that in just a minute, Jordan Renaud and Keon Keeley. 2 guys, one of them we talk about often, right? And we're like, Keon Keeley, he's the guy. But I don't want you to sleep on Jordan Renaud. So I'm going to hit on that in just a minute. And for those asking you, I know one of the biggest questions is what happened to LT Overton? They don't really disclose type of injuries. But the rumor is it was an ankle, but I have no idea. That's not official at all. That's just kind of the water cooler talk. So that's kind of where we start out with today. And again, I'll talk about more of this in depth in just a minute. And I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much for joining me on today's program. I was thinking about this. Did you see this? So Vanderbilt, they were going to play, I'm dead serious. They were going to try to play another program to impress the playoff committee. Did you see this? So I was thinking, why don't they just have playoff play-in games? That's where we're going, right? And I even saw Diego tag the president, right? And was like, yo, make an executive order to make the expanded playoffs. I was like, look, this would be moderately interesting in my opinion. What do you guys think? Okay. So you have 3 spots available for these bubble teams, and you have these playoff play-in type games. I would watch these games, right? Virginia versus Tulane, have the 2 conference champs that are kind of on the bubble, have them play, have Notre Dame and BYU, have those teams play, right, to get in. And then have Texas and Miami play. Just a thought. It's like, you might as well. You have some playoff play-in games, and you have these teams settle it on the field instead of and then you can reshuffle the teams, right, based off the conference championship games. And maybe for ACC, you don't even play one. And same thing with the other conference. You're just like, look, these are who you're playing now. And actually, in this model, maybe you don't even play the conference championship game anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, just food for thought, thinking about what could happen, but maybe kind of do away with the conference championship games and then go to a playoff play-in game. Just thinking about that. Would you guys like that? Right? So, no more conference championship games, and instead, you do playoff play-in games to figure out the last 3 spots. Just something I was thinking about this morning. I was like, because I would like to see Notre Dame and BYU play. I'd love to see Texas and Miami. Let's settle it on the field, right? And same thing, you're still rewarding Virginia and Tulane as kind of the tops of their conference. Well, this is what you get to play for. You get to play a playoff play-in game. I don't know. Thinking about that. Let me know inside the comment box. Yesterday was a great day. And listening to Courtney Morgan on UA Athletics speak about kind of their method of signing guys, along with Bob Welton, who also is in the recruiting room. I love the approach. And I know a lot of you were asking about the size of the class, right? That it's a smaller class. And Courtney Morgan was like, yeah, it's a smaller class because we plan to retain a lot of our players. Not mad at that. You mad at retaining a lot of the guys from this year's team? I'm not. There's always guys that were like, yeah, we don't care if they go somewhere else, but we're always hurt when they do, right? So retaining a lot of guys from a team that has gone 10-2, I'm not mad at that. And Courtney Morgan was quick to point out that retention costs too. So this was a really good signing class. And to be honest, Courtney Morgan was like, now recruiting has changed so much that we do not look at the recruiting rankings. We don't care where we are, right? Now, clearly you don't want to be Penn State. By the way, did you see Penn State? They signed 2 guys yesterday. 2. They don't even have a coach. 2 guys. Who's signing to Penn State? But they were like, we don't care where we are in the rankings. We want to just make sure that we get the right guys to sign with us and that it makes financial sense. It was like, we don't want to overspend, period. We don't. So it kind of brings us to this next spot too, and that's with Bryson Cooley, who will now be announcing on Friday, and that's the biggest thing. The biggest thing on everybody's mind. Before I even get to everything, I was planning to talk a couple of things, but the biggest question is Bryson Cooley, right? Bryson Cooley will make his decision on Friday. It's a bidding war between Alabama and LSU, okay? LSU has a ton of cash. So does Alabama, okay? Alabama is not broke. They are not. They are going to spend wisely, though. If it doesn't make sense financially, they're not going to go for him. So they're going to, I would imagine they use the other bucket that they have for the transfer portal. But I don't think they're going to overspend on Cooley. But, yeah, it's a bidding war. And LSU has so much money, and so does Alabama. Welcome to SEC recruiting. All right, for the weekend weather report, it's in the Dome, so it's going to be a beautiful 72 degrees between Alabama and Georgia. The tailgate looks like 40% chance of rain, and then the drive home, same thing with a 47-degree drive home, and this is courtesy of North Alabama Storm Chase. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for always supporting us on here, man. You're great. And let's give some shout-outs inside the comment box. Let's see who's here today. It's been raining all morning here in Tuscaloosa. Young C, I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much for being here. Amanda Jane, good morning to you as well. Max Tooney, always checking in. We appreciate you. Alyssa, out in Georgia, thank you very much for being here as well. Broderick, what's up, man? Good to see you. We have Miss Kimberly. We have Tonette, Turn Up. We got Roll Tide K. Good to see you. We got Bruce Williams. We got Show 44. We have Rex Green. What's up, Rex? Good to see you, bro. We got Dr. Kevin Cook. We have Chris from New Jersey. He's excited about Bryson Cooley. Who else we got? We got a good crew. J. Cole. What's up, man? Good to see you. From, what's up, man? Good morning to you. Yeah, good morning to everybody in the Undefeated. I appreciate you. If I didn't give you like a personal shout out, don't hold it against me. A lot of names rolling through, but I really appreciate all you guys' support 100%. Last night, who watched the Alabama basketball game? Did you guys see Alabama basketball? The news does not stop. I mean, today you get Coach Kalen DeBoer and Kirby Smart later on. So those guys coming with it later on as we continue to preview the SEC championship. But yesterday, you had signing day all day and then Alabama basketball. All right, so Alabama basketball, they played a very good Clemson team. This game was at Coleman Coliseum. Alabama wins 90-84. Now 6-2 on the season. They have won 3 games in a row. LeBaron Feiland had 29 points. Takeover master, one of the best players in college basketball, 100%. We got a little taste of Jalil Bethea. I think it's going to take some time for him to kind of come around and get his legs under him, but that's a good sign. Amari Allen, played really big last night. 20 points and 11 rebounds, double-double for him. I kind of on the downside, and this is nitpicking, I do feel that one of the struggles that this team has, and it's continuing to be a pattern against good teams, is they continue to be out-rebounded, right? They don't have, in my opinion, elite bigs. That's just my take. They were out-rebounded last night, 43-39. Not terrible, but that's kind of a trending, area that I see. They gave up a 15-point lead. They were dominating at halftime, and then Clemson kind of worked their way back into the game. Next game, they got Texas San Antonio, which is December 7th. So we have the SEC championship game Saturday, basketball, playoffs. So it's going to be an absolutely busy weekend. Coach Oates, following the game, he said, look, Clemson's a good basketball team. They're going to win a lot of games, which they are, right, this year, and they're really tough. They're a veteran group. Any team coached by Brad's not going to quit. We've seen Clemson in the past, right? They played, a couple years ago in the NCAA tournament. They're a team from the ACC that's quality. Alabama's basketball schedule so far has been ridiculously hard. So that was another good win for Alabama basketball. The injury report for Alabama came out on Wednesday night, and there's a lot of guys banged up. I'll run through it, and then I'm going to ask you some key questions, okay? Cam Howard, he's out. DB doesn't really play. Ja Latham, he's been out for a long time. He's got the neck injury. Jay Kirkpatrick, you know what happened to him. He's got the off-the-field stuff. LT Overton, this is a big one. Clearly, I opened up the show talking about LT. I'll come back to him and the impact and who will replace him in that game. Kevin Riley, broken jaw against Eastern Illinois. Mal Waldrip Jr., he's out. Don't know what that's about. And then Jeremiah Beeman, he has a lower body injury at the beginning of the season, so he's been out the entire season. Questionable for this game: Jam Miller, Cam Dewberry, Josh Cuevas, and Danny Lewis. Unfortunately, Danny Lewis has been he's been injured the entire season. I don't know where he's at in terms of like a medical red shirt, but my goodness, that guy hasn't been healthy, 90% of the games. Josh Cuevas and Jam, listed as questionable, kind of made my ears perk up. Do you think that those guys are going to play this weekend? I don't know. I would say that each aren't going to play or not. But until this report says out, we got to, say questionable. But until Coach Kalen DeBoer says no or it's listed, I guess we just list them as questionable. But I personally don't think that Jam or Josh Cuevas play this weekend. Just kind of my take. That's kind of how it's trending. And Josh is asking, how did Riley break his jaw? I don't know. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. Probably took a hit somehow, right? Obviously. But I don't know. And they haven't told it. Like, the biggest question right now that I get is, what happened to LT Overton? Because of privacy laws, they're not required to tell you what type of injury. It's like, it's literally against the law. So they can say, like, he's got an arm, or he's got like a jaw, or he's got like a leg. So the coach can't officially say, like, he broke his leg. They can't do that. So they don't have to tell you anything. People have been talking that it's an ankle, but I haven't heard anything. So until Kalen DeBoer addresses that, he's out. And that's what it means, right? I mean, have you guys heard anything inside the comment box? I think we see the same stuff, right? So the big three are right here. And this is the injury update, right? It's like Jam Miller being questionable, Josh Cuevas questionable, and then LT Overton, that should say out. It's going to drive me crazy if that's not updated. So let me fix that. So he's out for this game. So as we kind of, who will step up in LT Overton's place, you got Keon Keeley and Jordan Nod, right? These are two players who are very capable. I've been really big on each of these guys. They just weren't going to play ahead of LT Overton. Now is an opportunity when your name is called to rise up and show what you can do. Have you got, and I think two of these players right here, everybody talks about Keon Keeley, right? This is like the most excited, like people should be so excited to get to see him play. But I'm going to tell you, right, that Jordan Nod right here is probably going to start in place of Keon, like over. I mean, they have equal, like you could see the snap count, right? 113 to 96. So Keon Keeley is more than capable to do his thing. Yes, and Jordan Renaud is number 11. Let me fix that additional error right here. Yeah, if you guys see something, say something. It's all good. I do all the editing myself before. It takes me about an hour to prep for the show. I don't know, like, if other shows have graphics or if they have, like, graphic artists. I don't. I just do everything on the fly. Like, not on the fly, but I take, like, an hour, and I do all the graphics that you see on the show, like, personally. So if I have a mistake, just say something, and, you know, it's no problem, right? I fix everything. So just let me know. It's all good. These two guys are more than capable to get the job done. I'm really big on Keeley, but do not sleep on Jordan Renaud. Have you guys noticed Jordan Renaud out there playing? Yo, he's a baller, I'm telling you. He's played in 113 snaps, and he played in 23 snaps against Auburn, where Keon Keeley played in 9 snaps. So I would imagine that the starter on the field is Jordan Renaud. That doesn't mean that Keon Keeley isn't good. It's just welcome to Alabama football. Everybody's better than you. Everybody. And that's just how it is, right? You're never going to just come in and just automatically start over somebody because you're a 5-star. No, it's not how it works. These are grown men. These are professional athletes. These guys are making millions of dollars. You're not going to just automatically start over them because of your name. That's not how it works. So these guys are capable. Alabama's 2 deep is incredible. I'm telling you, man. Like, they are phenomenal on the 2 deep. Where in the world? Think about this, all right? You lost Tim Keenan. No big deal, right? The beginning of the season, you just popped in some other defensive tackles. Tim Keenan came back. You lost some other guys. Then you lost what? Quay Rusaw. Man, any other team, they're out of the playoffs. You lose a guy like Quay. You just sub in Yanzi Pierre, the best edge rusher in college football, right? Just wait. You lose LT Overton, another starter. Oh, my goodness. Keon Keeley, Jordan Renaud. These guys probably have like 2 sacks on Saturday. That's how Bama rolls. I'm telling you. You have Damani Jackson. Oh, man, he's not playing well. We got a freshman that's the best freshman in America. Boom. It's crazy. The 2 deep on defense is ridiculous. That's why I feel that Alabama makes a run to win the national championship, is because of the 2 deep on defense. It's just all going to come down to the offense. If the offense can find itself, they probably win the championship. But right now, the offense is just it's above. It's like mid, right? The running back position. Let's just say Jam Miller doesn't play. Let's just look at a hypothetical, right? Let's say he can't go. This is what you got right here. I didn't list Richard Young. I could have added him, but it doesn't seem like he plays very much. And it seems like these guys are kind of the guys that are playing right now. Daniel Hill on the season, 57 for 217. A.K. Deere has 16 for 130. And then Dre Washington, who's a senior, 14 for 59. Not having Jam Miller is a big loss if he can't go on Saturday. He was playing back to his best football against Auburn. He really was. 83 yards against Auburn. He looked really good. And I know everybody out there wants Daniel Hill to start over Jam Miller. I'm going to tell you this, and it'll probably make you mad, but a healthy, full-go Jam Miller is a lot better than Daniel Hill, okay? Now, Daniel Hill has an opportunity in this game to show that he's the man. But, like, when Jam is healthy and everything is good with him and he's been dealing with a lot of injuries that you don't know about, right? And at the end of the season, maybe I could tell you some of the things that he's been dealing with. But a full-go Jam is the best running back in the room. 100%. Okay? So, if he can't go, then these are your backs. We're all waiting for A.K. Deere, okay? We'll see. He's going to get an opportunity against Georgia. And you know what? I have to say, Dre Washington, I actually like his game. I'm really surprised that he hasn't got to play more. I kind of like the shiftiness that he has. So And then I guess, you also have Richard Young. But sometimes, honestly, Ryan Grubb likes to run Jerry Bernard back there. And you know how that goes. Hey, RTR, I see you inside the comment box. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you, right? So Daniel Hill, let's get a good game out of him. He only has 57 carries this year for 217. It's not a lot of production, but we know what he's capable of, right? And he's going to have to come up with pass protection this week, right? The tight end position, Josh Cuevas. Not having Josh Cuevas is also a big deal. It is. You have 2 freshmen that'll start in place, and they have so many tight ends on this team. They just don't play. They probably play, and the way that Alabama has their tight ends, the tight ends do different jobs, right? Not all tight ends are the same, but these are the guys that get the most reps. You also have Brody Dalton. You have Jay Lindsey. I think you have another tight end in there that doesn't really play. Danny Lewis, he's been hurt. Josh Cuevas, if he can't go, then this is who we're looking to. 2 freshmen. This is where you're at this point in the season. Caleb Edwards has played in every single game, okay? He has 8 catches for 108. He really hasn't made like a game-changing play or anything like that. 6'6", 260? Big dude. And then Marshall Pritchett over here, he has 6 catches for 45. So you have these young guys coming into a game against Georgia. Time to grow up. But are these guys even freshmen at this point? These guys got here in January. We're already in December. These guys are sophomores, right? A lot of game experience. Now, they haven't played, in the SEC championship before, but they've been playing in big games. Every single game. Hey, Rex, yeah, Kevin Riley's out. He has a broken jaw. So unless they tighten up, figure out something, he's out. But he's already listed as out on the official injury report. Capstone, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here. So we'll look to the freshmen this week. I mean, it'd be crazy, right, if Alabama comes out on the offensive side and they're rolling with A.K. Deere at running back and then 2 tight ends at freshman, or at 2 freshmen at the tight end position. That could happen. You have a freshman, Lazier Brooks, playing wide receiver. Young guns. Good ones. Young guns. As you know, fam, this video is powered by Sleeper. Get a $100 deposit up to $100. Use the promo code, which is tailgate. You can make more or less picks. It's really fun to do. I do it every single weekend. I play fantasy football through Sleeper. The promo code is tailgate, available in 21 states, and terms and conditions apply. And if you just download the app, you get $20. So everybody should have Sleeper. So my sleeper question for you, and I need your help inside the comment box, and we'll start with Gunnar Stockton on the left. Does Gunnar Stockton throw for more or less than 194 yards? More or less. Does Gunnar Stockton throw for 194? I'm going to say less. It's hard to throw for over 200 yards against Alabama. I'm telling you. I've been saying that all year. And while Ashton Daniels did it last week, I'll challenge Gunnar Stockton to do it this week. What you think, Run the Table Sports? You think that Gunnar Stockton throws for more than 200 on Bama? I'm going to say less. I'm telling you. Hey, look, it was kind of creepy last game. I listed out the X factors, and those were the exact guys that were the X factors. I was like freaked out. Right? So I'll hit on some stuff every once in a while. I'm saying that this will be under. Now, on the other side, I don't know. Like me personally, I wouldn't make a more or less pick on Ty Simpson. He is playing inconsistent football. And, maybe I guess sometimes like put in a tough position because I want to just speak the truth. And sometimes if you speak the truth, fans get mad, right? But I think like you deserve to hear the truth. And maybe this gets back to them. Maybe you could use it as rat poison and be like, oh, make me a villain, right? But somebody's got to say it, man. Like, this guy he needs to get it going. Now, clutch situations last week, thank goodness. And we still have confidence in Ty, but damn, like the offense is sputtering still. So maybe something happens to where they can find themselves again. If the offense finds itself again and Ty starts cooking, I'm telling you, these guys can make a run, a real run at winning the whole thing. But if we're stuck in the mud like we are right now and defenses are playing them well and he can't hit on the deep ball, somebody will beat them. So 253 yards is kind of where we're at. You guys think more or less? I mean, if I had to pick right now, this is a tough one because let's say Jam can't go. Unless they Georgia's good at stopping the run. Daniel Hill lacks like elite speed. So that means that the game plan will be Ty beating Georgia's secondary. He was 14 of 19 last time on third downs against them. Neutral site game, it'll be loud. He'll be having to change a lot of plays. Unless they hit on some explosives, I'm taking less. That's a tough one, though. He's going to have to, they're going to have to get yards. I don't think it'll be on the ground. I think that Alabama's going to have trouble running the ball against Georgia. So it's going to come down to Ty's effectiveness, which I think he can do. He has weapons to do it. Maybe you hit on an explosive or something like that. But I do think Ty will fare better than Gunner. But I think it's going to be a tough challenge for each of the quarterbacks. Dr. Kevin Cook is saying that Georgia is going to bring pressure. 100%. That's the key. That's the key to beating Alabama and disguising your coverages and hoping for an interception, something like that. But I think Gunner Stockton's going to have a really tough time too. Both defense is very, very talented in this game. Okay, let's turn to signing day. Okay, kind of do a recap. You've probably seen some of my videos already. This is a really good signing class. Was it an elite class? I think we have to look at recruiting different now. Recruiting has always been about, filling needs and getting like the top guys, all the 5 stars, but the 5 stars cost so much. So it's not like Alabama's broke, but they're smart. Alabama's like, okay, we have to retain players. That costs, right? I was listening to Diego Pavia for Vanderbilt, and he was like, literally, Vanderbilt asked us to put on a sheet what we want for next year. So I don't know if that's happening everywhere. All these players have agents, but you got to retain, right? Tomorrow will be a call-in show. Today is just kind of, I'm going to fly through a couple things. I'm going to play Coach Kalen DeBoer here in a minute. Friday is a call-in show. But, you got to pay Lazier Brooks more, right? You got Lazier Brooks will be an interesting one. What do they get him for? Maybe I'm just making stuff up here. 3-star coming in, you pay him, I don't know, what, $100,000? You gotta pay Lazier Brooks now per season, what, $700,000? And I have no idea what these numbers are. Deep Sky says Cederian Morgan should be, these are organized in no order. These are actually the way that they're listed is by when they signed. So their official paperwork, when it hit Alabama, that's how they're listed. So Jordan Edmonds went in first, and then Rael Kelly. That's how they're listed because we're doing the check marks yesterday. But Cederian Morgan, and I'm going to ask you guys who you think will play first in just a second. But you got to retain. But retaining players costs money, a lot of money. Ryan Williams, that's an interesting situation because Ryan Williams, you got to wonder, how much is Alabama paying him? And now you go into this next season and you're like, okay, Ryan's like, I want more money. And because until it's performance-based, that's where it's going to get really weird. These guys aren't college, they go to college, clearly, but they're pros. Let's call them pros, period. So I would say Ryan Williams goes in and I would say Ryan Williams wants more money, not less. And then I'd be like, but the production isn't where it's at. And Brian Williams was like, well, my brand, I'm on the cover of NCAA football. I'm the most well-known player in college football. Alabama's like, well, you're not performing, the way we thought you would. Well, this is my offer. I want 3.5 this year. Before I get to asking you guys about which player will play most as a freshman and Coach Kalen DeBoer here coming up in a second, I got a flip watch coming on Friday. This is a bidding war. Talk about money. Lane Kiffin, his millions of dollars going against Alabama's millions of dollars. Where do you think Bryson Cooley ends up? Because everybody who knows everything about recruiting, right, like the know-it-alls for all this stuff, predicted him to go to Alabama. Why you think he just had a change of heart? Like he's like, nah, I'd rather live in Baton Rouge. And this is money. Come on. It's a bidding war. And if Alabama doesn't get this guy on Friday, what's it going to be? Because he couldn't get developed at Alabama? Because he didn't like the coaches at Alabama? Because Alabama wasn't winning? Because Alabama wasn't in the SEC championship game? Because Alabama didn't, take it to LSU once again? It's going to be because of money. That's why. Right? Yeah, and Brian Williams, I saw that. Brian Williams flipped to Auburn. He looked kind of slow to me. Owen Cabell, he flipped to Vanderbilt. I liked him. I thought those guys were good. It's just they're not going to play next year. The only guy that's going to play next year is Cederian Morgan, and he's really the only wide receiver that Alabama signed. But all those other wide receivers, it'll probably take them 3 or 4 years to play. You think like Brian Williams or Owen Cabell, you think those guys are like better than Jalen Hell or Rico Scott? Seriously, think about what I just said. You think Brian Williams looked at Alabama's roster and was like, damn, if Rico Scott don't even play, what are my chances? It's going to take me 3 or 4 years to play. That's how it is at Alabama. And guess what? Alabama will continue to just load up with the top tier guys because guys can be patient and they can wait. But you're not going to play over here immediately unless you're just completely outstanding like Ezavier Brooks or Cederian Morgan, who I think, by the way, will start next year. Courtney Morgan, man, this guy's amazing. He said, look, we'll get the best players, but we're going to spend wisely. Period. They're not going to overspend. And it doesn't make sense to overspend. Because you have the return on investment is probably really, really challenging in college football because the players go up and down. Think about like a team like Miami. How much did they spend on Carson Beck? Like what? Was it $6 million? They're not even going to make the playoffs. They went all in with the quarterback. They didn't make the playoffs. So I bet you Miami would rather have some of that money back and have a quarterback that could have taken them to court. It's hard. Recruiting is, man, but this guy's a wizard. He's the best in the business, okay? Him and Bob Welton have done an amazing job. So my first question to you, talking about this recruiting class, is who do you think is going to be the first to play? Ezavier Crowell, type A inside the comment box. Jireh Edwards, safety, type B inside the comment box. Or Jordan Edmonds, corner, type C inside the comment box. Oh, man. If I would have put Cederian Morgan, it would have been too easy. I mean, I want to say A, right? Because I look at Jordan Edmonds, and I think he will play. But I also know that Xavier Brown's returning, and so is Mustard. So Jordan Edmonds is going to be a guy. He already is a guy, but he's not going to start over those guys. Well, I didn't say start. I said play. So he'll play. Jireh Edwards coming in. Well, you got Bray Hubbard and Keon Sabb. Those guys are going to come back, right? Are they? Does Bray Hubbard come back? And does Keon Sabb come back? I think they got to. I don't know if they're. That's going to be interesting. Because they're going to get paid by Alabama. That's part of the retention, right? I think they will. I think that those guys are probably like third round type guys. No offense. They're really good. J. Cole says no. Can you imagine they both came? So Jireh Edwards, he can also play kind of that husky nickel formation as well. So, but you have Red Morgan coming back. And then when you look at the running backs, man, this guy's a monster at running back, Ezavier Crowell. I don't know. I mean, everybody loves A.K. Deer more than any other running back, but he don't really play that much right now. Who's better, Ezavier Crowell or A.K. Deer? Sound off inside the comment box. Seriously. Because I think fans want A.K. Deer to play more than anybody else, but is he better than Ezavier Crowell? Hard to answer right now when Ezavier Crowell is still in high school, but you've seen his highlights and so have I. On why Alabama signed 2 quarterbacks, I thought this was interesting. Coach Kalen DeBoer was like, you don't know what the future holds, right? You always want to have 5 quarterbacks. And we found the right guys between Jet and Taden Kawa. I love what they bring from arm talent and a winning mentality. Just go-getters. That's Coach Kalen DeBoer. So I was like, wait, 5 quarterbacks. You want 5 quarterbacks on the roster, right? That made my ear perk up. And so then I put this out, and I was like, I see you, Ruben Poole. Thanks for watching, bro. And then we started talking. I was like, okay, he wants 5 on the roster, and you got Ty Simpson, who, yes, he can come back. He's a redshirt junior right now. And all the graduation years right here, they're updated for next year. Yo, the CEO says inside the comment box, you have no idea who's coming back. No idea. So I know if I was to ask, like, does Ty come back? You guys are going to say no. So if he doesn't and he leaves, then you're down to 4. Could they theoretically put John Gazaniga on scholarship? And you're like, who the hell is that? He's the 6'7", 250-pound quarterback. That's a walk-on. I think that's what they might do. That'll be crazy because then you'd have a 6'6" quarterback, a 6'3" quarterback, a 6'4" quarterback, a 6'6" quarterback, and a 6'7" quarterback. Wild, right? That's got to be the tallest quarterback room in the nation. Unless they take another quarterback. But Coach Kellen DeBoer said 5. Well, these are your 5. I mean, this is the quote that he said. Look, you always want to have 5. Well, if Ty leaves, that's 4. Does that mean another quarterback's coming in, or does that mean a quarterback's already on the roster? I don't know. That's your quarterback room. And man, there's so much talent in here. And you could start a war by asking, questions about the quarterback room. And North Alabama Storm Chase, this is a big one. People think that Trent Seaborn is in the class of 2026. He's not. He's in the next class, 2027. And then after that, Graham Simpson, Ty Simpson's brother, will be here. Wild, right? But Trent Seaborn will not be on the roster in 2026. He still has one more year, 2027, right? And Shiesty Demon is saying that if Ty's leaving, if Russell doesn't start, next year he's out. That's what people, the biggest thing is, like, which guy will transfer? What if each guy stays? I don't know. This guy's, stellar highlights, and this dude is very similar to Austin Mack, in my opinion. Jet Thamala is, man, this guy's, you watch his highlight tape, he's very similar to Keelan Russell. These guys are, I'm serious, these guys are the same, and these guys are the same. Austin Mack and Taden Kawa. And then these two are the same. See? And then Capstone Farm feels that Trent Seaborn comes in. Who do you think will start? Keelan Russell or Trent Seaborn? The freshman's always better, right? The freshman quarterback is always better than the starter. That's one thing that I've learned when covering football. You got to wait. I know it sucks. You got to wait. People are like, Keelan Russell should be starting right now. He's played in 2 games. 2 games. Max Tooney points out a damn good fact. Yeah, there's a big difference coming from Texas, Metroplex, right, than Nebraska. Both really good players. Were you surprised that Alabama only signed 1 running back? You got Ezavier Crowell. I mean, he's like 2 running backs. Coach Kalen DeBoer said, look, when he reclassified, we knew that he was the guy that we wanted on our program. He finishes everything into the end zone. And I asked you on the show, I was like, who will start? Well, here's a look at the running back room for 2026. And everybody thinks that Richard Young is going to transfer out. He's never said that. He just doesn't play this year. We have no idea why. But here's the running back room for next year. What do you think of the running back room? How do you feel about this room? Elite? Good? How would you assess it on a scale of 1 to 10, the running back room that you see right here? Loaded? Deep? What's up, Deep Sky? Appreciate you, man. Yeah, look at these guys. And you have a good variety of running backs too, right? You have 2 speed running backs, A.K. Deere, Kevin Riley, all-purpose with Ezavier Crowell and Richard Young, and then your big, imposing back with Daniel Hill. That's a pretty good running back room. These guys are big. That's a lot of weight. Jarvis loves it. Byron says that Austin Mack will go to Oregon State. Nah, I don't think so. If Austin Mack goes, he'd go to a major program. Oregon State, that's like, look, I'm happy for Jamarcus Shepard, and everybody is, and that's a great opportunity for him. Once you go to Oregon State, nobody will see you again. Does anybody, what are their TV ratings? I bet you they don't even have 1 million people watching their games. And that's just the truth. Now, Austin Mack, if he transferred, he'd go somewhere where he'd be, the star of the show at a big-time program. Could be here. Daniel Hill, he's got this guy's got a hell of an opportunity on Saturday. And he says B+ on the running back room. Pretty good room, for sure. The receivers, I know a lot of you excited about Cederian Morgan. Who the hell put him as a 4-star? Why? I'm like, how did he go to a 4-star? What did he do, right? And then you also got Max Sutter coming in as a tight end. Each of these kids are really like the athleticism that they have. Cederian Morgan, I think Coach Kalen DeBoer, he's like 6'8" high jumper at 6'4", 220. That's crazy. And Max Sutter, his pops played in the NFL. But, man, putting Cederian Morgan at a 4-star was ridiculous. This guy's like a 6-star. I know that doesn't exist, but have you guys watched Cederian Morgan play? I watched 2 plays of him on his highlight tape. That's all I needed to see. I saw his height, his weight. I looked at him, and then I saw him play. I was like, that dude's a 5-star. Period. End of story. Must get, crown jewel type guy. How he got a 4-star, that is really weird. Max Sutter, this guy played all over the field. Very, very good. Actually, let's listen to a couple clips from Coach Kalen DeBoer real quick after I showcase the wide receivers. So here's the wide receiver room right here. A lot of guys, right? And remember, you had 2 flips yesterday. You had Brian Williams go to Auburn, and then you had Owen Cabell go to Vanderbilt. But, look, I like those guys. I like Cabell. It's just, where are those guys going to play? And I think one of the biggest questions I have when I look at this board right here for the wide receivers is, does Isaiah Horton come back? Let me ask you, fam, inside the comment box. Do you think Isaiah Horton comes back? I don't know. Was, his performance against Auburn, because he's been productive this year. I wish they'd utilize him more. He's really good. I think he's a guy that he would have to really take a chance and showcase himself at the NFL Combine. And I think once people saw how good he was, he would go to the NFL. I just don't think they've seen enough of him yet. But he could come back. He's a redshirt junior right now. You guys think he comes back? Man, think about this. You have Isaiah Horton, Ryan Williams, Lazier Brooks, and Cederian Morgan, Rico Scott, Bach, Derek Meadows, Jalen Hell. Maybe, he's finally healthy or whatever. Cole Adams still here. Cole Adams will just be a redshirt junior next year? Damn, feels like he's been here for forever, huh? Oh, I think Jalen Ibaka will come back. He's best friends with Ryan Williams. I think remember as soon as he went in, Greg Byrne, remember what he said? He said, "We need your help." And an hour later, Jalen Ibaka was out of the transfer portal. So I think because Ryan, well, really, it was Jalen Ibaka that got Ryan to come here. Do you remember this? There was nobody that recruited Ryan harder than Jalen Ibaka. And then when he went into the portal, which he did, I think Ryan made a call, got on the hotline, was like, "We need to keep this dude," and now he's staying. So I don't think those guys are going anywhere. And I know you guys want to bring in Cam Coleman, right? Well, who doesn't play when you bring in Cam Coleman? What? I mean, you have Cam Coleman, Cederian Morgan, Isaiah Horton. What you do? I guess you could just run 5 wide. All right, let's go to Coach Kalen DeBoer yesterday. Hear what he had to say about his signing class. Man, what a job he's done on the recruiting trail. And Courtney Morgan, man, those guys just absolutely are cooking on the recruiting standpoint. I was curious to see what would happen when these guys took over from a recruiting standpoint, but it hasn't dropped off. I mean, the recruit. Think about the freshmen that are playing right now. Name them. Name all the freshmen that are playing. All right, here's Coach Kalen DeBoer yesterday during his press conference after signing day.
Good afternoon. Exciting day for a lot of reasons. Obviously, prep continues for our guys, getting ready for this weekend, and of course, signing day. So a lot happening, and a good day to be up here in the office. But just a couple things before I know you guys will have some questions on probably guys individually and things like that. I just want to thank you guys first of all for all your coverage of the season. I know we got more season ahead of us, but season and obviously the coverage of everything regarding our program, including these guys that we're going to talk about. You guys probably know just as much as I do about them. I get to see these guys and talk to them every single week, all the time. So. Thank our staff, especially Courtney Morgan, general manager, and just the work he puts in, not just himself, but organizing just our process, organizing how we go about our evaluation, how we, how we continue to just keep methodical touch points, whether it's getting them here to campus or just our phone conversations, FaceTimes, the different times of the year from junior days in January to spring recruiting, which is huge for us, getting these guys here on campus with their families. This summer, of course, is really when we kind of lock a lot of the commitments in, and that was the case again this year. And then the continued just growth of the relationship and how his vision for that piece and all of it coming together really helps us be rock solid when we get to this point where maybe there's some schools that trying to come in last minute on guys and so forth. And, I'm just really proud of this group again, just like last year, rock solid, when it comes to, and maybe not just this week, but throughout the fall and people really seeing what these guys can do on the football field. And, just these guys sticking to their commitment and can't wait to have these guys here, most of them on campus here real soon, going to work. And, you can see right now with what our 25 class did and how impactful they are to our season that we have right now. I know there'll be a lot of impactful players that will help us next year very quickly. So I'm very confident in that. But I want to thank our staff, too. And, beyond Courtney Morgan, there's a whole recruiting staff and Bob Welton and everyone there, but then our coaching staff, who does a great job of working alongside recruiting staff to really dial in, and we're doing that to an extreme level already with the 27s. As we finish this class, we're really working hard on the 27s and getting dialed in on that because the process continues on. And I think the deep relationships that our coaching staff continue to form with coaches, especially in this area, having, I believe, 14 of the 20 that we're going to talk about here, 14 of the 20 from this part of the country, the southeast area, kind of in our footprint. That's great to see. I know last year we talked a lot about there being more probably West Coast, and we'll continue to do that, and we'll be national when it comes to the recruiting and just our philosophy. But you can see the roots, and you can see the relationships really taking on the next level. And I think the trust that's building, and I think there's still even more that we're going to be able to take advantage of in the years ahead. But people trusting our staff and that it's genuine. And then I think the other piece is our players. When people come to campus and they see our players, official visits, practices in the spring, probably are the two things that jump out at me. The guys really, we talk about our culture being contagious, and the guys just really are attracted and are like, it's Alabama and the tradition and all that, but they really see something that they want to be a part of. And these guys that are coming into our program, I expect them, because of who they are, not just as a football player, but as who they are as people, the energy they bring, and love their families. I expect these guys to come in and continue to add to our culture, not just fit in and just be a part of it. They come in to add and make it even better than what it is now. And so there's a lot of people that just go into this whole thing. You can talk about the academics and what they do for our team, but they're critical in trying to really share the vision of what our time period is to get these guys graduated. What's our history of getting guys their degree, and then you got the training staff, and they're not just taking care of our players; they're helping show why you want to come here, along with our strength staff and what that development looks like there. And so again, I can go on down the line to every area of our program. They all play an important role, and so again, 20 guys. I think there's a lot of length in this class. D-line, we were really looking for the length, the size. Want to continue to grow that area, get them in there with Dave Ballou and the strength program, and get some massive human beings in there. And so I love what we got, as far as coming in here with this group. I think that just there's an athleticism. I think it's across the board too, where we need to continue to always, in today's day and age of football, college football, you need to recruit something from every position. There's going to be movement, attrition at times. We don't have a huge senior class, 16. Last year we had 13 when it comes to scholarship guys. And so, I think the continuity will be good. I expect that. So it wasn't going to be a huge class for us, again, with just 20 guys. And so I really like where we're at. And it was kind of probably the goal was probably to be right in this window, 20, 21, maybe 22 tops. I think at one point we were even talking it might be as low as 17, when we're in the summer. But it's grown and it grew because we found a couple more guys that really fit who we are.
Let's start on the far right with Charlie.
You can't really hear the questions from the reporters, so I'll let them ask it, and then I'll tell you what they were saying. I know the audio is a little bit low. I should have boosted it before. Sometimes when the university sends these in, the audio isn't adjusted. I could have leveled it before, so that's on me. But let's see what the reporter has to say.
Just bringing in a couple of teammates in Ezavier Griffin and Jireh Matthews. What do you like about both those guys?
You could hear that, but obviously he was asking about Ezavier Griffin and Jireh Matthews.
Oh, yeah. Ezavier Griffin, first of all, both those guys on a team that's extremely successful, leaders on that team, playmakers. You can see the passion they both have. There's ties to Alabama with both of them, having gone there. X is a guy that's a flex guy. I mean, to really see him as like a Jihad Campbell, a linebacker, can fly, can run, has got some length, and he's going to put on some good weight. Then can be versatile enough to go play, on the edge and not have to necessarily sub in when you want to put him in spots to go get after the quarterback. And so we'll just, can't wait to have, our defensive staff get their hands on him and let him go to work. And so, and then, with just Marion, just what he does up front and what his size potential is going to be, just a really cool kid to be around. You can see that, again, you talk about adding to the culture, just the personality he brings is special. I love talking with him every single week when we get on the phone. Just, you can see, what he brings to that team now and how much he's enjoying it, and he loves the game. And, we need guys like that can be in the middle there, kind of taking care of business and blowing up offensive lines.
All right. The audio is driving me crazy. I'm going to fix it real quick. So just stay with me real fast, okay? I'll show you how much of a ninja I am. I can do this on the fly. This is going to bother me. So I'll end the show strong. You guys inside in the meantime, let me know who you think will start at wide receiver. Why don't you go ahead and post inside the comment box while I boost this audio real quick, who you think will start at wide receiver for Alabama. And I am going to try to boost this audio real quick. I think you guys, to me, you guys deserve first rate all the time. So I'm not going to let anything slip on you guys. This needs to be boosted, and I'm just not going to settle for less. It'll drive me crazy if it's not boosted. So while you guys inside the comment box, it'll take me 5 minutes. Who's going to start at wide receiver for Alabama next season? And I see a lot of you asking about Cam Coleman. I haven't seen he's officially coming in. I'm just talking with you guys inside the chat. 1 second. Boost the audio. Let's see.
Yeah, we just saw in Auburn a tall receiver do some big things for you guys. And obviously you've had a...
There we go. It's a lot better. All right. Thanks for your patience. I'm just not going to put on a substandard product. I'm not going to do that. I want it to be 100%. This is SEC, week, so I'm not going to mess around. So just give me 1 second, and this should be updated momentarily. But my question for you inside the comment box is, who do you think will start for Alabama wide receiver? I think, look, everybody right now is selling off on Ryan. He's not being productive right now, but man, God, he has so much playmaking ability. And I do wonder if we get a quarterback and maybe Ty finds his deep ball or whatever. It's you imagine because he's a vertical wide receiver. He's a playmaking wide receiver. Yeah, maybe he's a little down in the dumps mentally. I have no idea, but it's just hard for me to sell on that kid, right? I'm not selling on him. Isaiah Horton, we have no idea if he comes back or if he goes. If he comes back, geez, man, what a weapon, right? I still feel he's underutilized. Isaiah Horton should be catching. He should have caught 70 passes this year. Okay, he caught 56 at Miami. I don't think he has 56, here, right? Rico Scott, man, I don't know, shoot. I don't know if he's going to play, when he's going to play. He's good for sure. All right, that just loaded from Coach Kalen DeBoer. You let me know if the audio is better on this side. I ain't going to finish out a show like that. We got to be tightened up. This is the SEC Championship week. So your job inside the comment box is to let me know when I play this if the audio is better, okay?
Yeah, we just saw in Auburn a tall receiver do some big things for you guys. And obviously you've had a success with tall receivers before, Rome, guys like that. How does Cederian Morgan fit what you guys want to do and have at that position?
Yeah, tall and athletic. Cedarian's basketball guy, right? So he's got that athleticism. He track, right? I think 6'8" or close to that, 6'8" high jumper. So a big guy that can get up. And just, the different ways that he gets the ball in his hands in their offense it shows off what he can do, as an athlete. And so can't wait to, like you said, I mean, that's been – I don't have to have – I think you want to have a mix of guys, but he certainly fills that area as far as being a bigger, longer type guy that plays big. He plays bigger than even what he is from a catch radius standpoint. And so – really excited about him. He's passionate about this place. He and his entire family, just love Alabama, and excited to see what he's going to do. Fitting in the role there, the receiver.
Yeah, that's Coach Kalen DeBoer talking about Cederian Morgan. Yeah, had to fix that audio. For me, like, audio is the biggest thing. It just drives me crazy. Like, if people don't have professional audio, like, I feel that you deserve that as a viewer. So, and people are like, why are you wearing a headset and all this stuff? It's like, because the audio is perfect. That's why. It's not about what I look like. It's about the delivery, right? It's about the audio. Look, even Coach Kalen DeBoer, he fall asleep right there if the audio wasn't perfect. So, Cederian Morgan, that guy is going to play next year. There's no way in hell this guy comes over here and he's just on the bench as a freshman. No. Like, this guy is coming over here. He's going to play. He's going to make plays. Just wait when he gets here. I'm telling you, Cederian Morgan's an absolute beast. Whoever put him as a 4-star, absolutely tripping, 100%. We continue with Coach Kalen DeBoer.
We have 2 questions on the front left. We'll start with Chase, and then we'll go to Colin.
I want to ask you about 2 more guys, specifically Ezavier Crowell at running back and also Jet Tamala at quarterback.
Ezavier Crowell at running back and Jet Tamala at quarterback. The reporters in that case wasn't handed a microphone, so he's just, asking Coach Kalen DeBoer. But Ezavier Crowell and Jet Tamala, the quarterback.
And Jet, yeah. I think, first of all, with EJ Crowell, when he made the change to reclassify, it was immediate for us of what direction we wanted to go. And he's put together, just a short career there. I mean, he would have another year left, just some unbelievable numbers. But some guys can put up numbers, and, it's who they're playing and things like that. He makes plays, and he can break tackles in small areas. He can run you over. He's got the ability to make you miss, and then, he ends up in the end zone. And so he's got that finishing speed too. And so as a big kid, I'm just really excited how he's going to come in, and it's really kind of amazing when you think that he should have another year, and then we're even thinking of him as being a guy that can kind of help us, just like a lot of these guys as freshmen, and a lot of, like I said, the 25 class are helping us right now. So and then Jet, just a great evaluation by Nick Sheridan, finding Jet and going through the entire country. When it comes to quarterbacks, we feel like we should be bringing in the best in the country, and finding Jet. And then, of course, there's ties with a few of us to the Midwest, and just really connected there with him and his family. And he then goes on to have kind of a summer that he was gaining even more and more attention nationally with the Elite 11, and then going through his season, which, I mean, he just dominated. He and his team, obviously, it takes everyone, but winning the state championship again, and in the fashion they did. I mean, he probably played half to not even 3/4 of every game, and to put up the stats he's put up, the leading passer ever in the history of Nebraska, yardage-wise, touchdown-wise. And then I just love who he is as a person. He's calm, cool, collected, but got this swagger about him. So I'm really looking forward to what he brings, as a quarterback.
Okay, Colin?
Hey, why was it important for you guys to get 2 quarterbacks in this class?
Why was it important for you guys to get 2 quarterbacks in this class?
Yeah, you just don't know what the future is, and you always wanted to have 5. I always felt like recruit 1 every year. You probably lose 1, you still got 4, worst case scenario. And I think that's obviously tougher and tougher. We had a great situation a year ago. This year we got 3 on scholarship. I just think that it was, and we found the right guys. We found the right guys, and so between Jet and Tayden, I just love what they bring from an arm talent, winning mentality, just go-getters. It was important for us, and they both knew that each other was coming, and so we're very transparent with that, and I love that. I love that they're open to competition. Competing with the other guys that are in our program that are really good already, and then them, both of them coming in as freshmen in the same class. So, here at Alabama, you got to have guys that, are going to compete. Yeah, you want them to be compete against your opponent, but they got to compete here internally as well. And so I love that about them.
Go to Matt, middle right here.
Do you like where the early signing period falls in the calendar of things, or if it were up to you, where would you put it?
Yeah, like this week is crazy, but I think there is, I think getting the high school guys in earlier, like we are now, I think you can bring up a lot of reasons why I would be swayed one way or the other. I like it now much better than I did when it was in February, because a lot of the times in January you were just really, I don't know, it sounds, babysitting really, like the guys trying to get them to just stay committed. And I think now at least who your incoming high school guys are, and that allows you to continue to build your roster, moving forward. So whether you like the one that was the signing day that was 2 weeks from now usually, or this one, it's nice to know where we're at, even though it is a little bit crazy right now. Not everyone is playing this week, and so it's a good week to get that locked in. It helps you make the plans moving forward, and so I know there's better ideas out there, but I think there's just going to be steps that you always got to continue to take to get to the spot that is ideal for everything when it comes to the whole calendar.
Yeah, we'll pause right there. I think the recruiting calendar is very difficult for all these coaches to manage. There's some pros and there's some cons. I think listening to Coach Kalen DeBoer right there, the pro is getting these guys legitimately signed so they are here, right? And then you can have them early enroll. Well, in the other aspect, when it was in February, you're still having to go back and forth and you're fighting, early enrollment, and man, just what a mess. Now everything has kind of been pushed forward, and that's kind of where we're at. Me personally, I like the old signing day, but I totally get where Coach Kalen DeBoer is coming from. I have a question inside the comment box asking about Evan Cooley, and this seems to be one of the biggest, question marks, right? It's always the guy who hasn't signed yet. I think from, talking about this at the beginning of the show, it looks like it's just Bama, LSU. I think there's a bidding war between the two. Now with Lane Kiffin having access to all that cash, but Bama isn't broke. So let's not get in that mind space. I think it's just like Bama is very smart about how they spend their money. Listen to Courtney Morgan speak about it. They're not going to overspend on guys. They're not. If they're going to spend, they're going to make sure that it's cost effective, and they're also going to use that money, which is actually in a different bucket, for retention. So they'd rather keep a player over here or two players rather than bring someone on that just wants a ton of cash, right? So the retention to this team is really, really important. And that's why Alabama, even in that spring portal, you didn't see anybody leave because they have money to use for retention. So it's not like they're going to be outbid. It's just if they don't get Cooley, think of it as LSU is willing to overspend probably for somebody like that. But I would love him in this class. That would give you 5 offensive linemen. I still think even with 5 offensive linemen, I'd probably still go into the transfer portal and get 2 more tackles. I want tons of competition at the tackle position. That's been an area that I think has plagued Alabama over the last couple of years, the right side of the right tackle specifically. So if Cooley was like going to start and he was like a legitimate bona fide 5-star tackle, I'm going all in. I'm bringing him here and he's playing. I don't know if he's that. So I think he comes in and he adds depth and maybe, competes. But if he's not a bona fide starter, hey, man, it looked good, but it's not good. So good luck at LSU. See you, when we go to Baton Rouge. Because Michael Carroll, I think he's coming along. He's not perfect, but I'm not overspending on a freshman. I'm not doing it unless he's like a top dog. Here's a look at the corners next year real quick. I want to go over a couple more things before we end today's program. The next year's corners, this is one area that is loaded. Look at Zabian Brown, right? Dejon Lee, Red Morgan, Chuck McDonald, Cam Calhoun, Jordan Edmonds, Chuck McDonald, Zion Gibson. Alabama is so rich at corner, it's ridiculous. This may be my favorite group right here. You think next year, look at the depth. This guy's playing with his hair on fire right now. He probably plays some Husky, right? Chuck McDonald, he didn't get to play much this year, but who's he going to play over? Jordan Edmonds, this guy, man, he's very similar to Dejon Lee. And they want their corners to have length. I'm just telling you, like, this group is loaded, right? We played Coach Kalen DeBoer's press conference. We went over a couple of these items overall from today. I'm trying to think. Oh, I wanted to show you two more things. These are the 5 stars that Coach Kalen DeBoer has been able to get since he got here at Bama. Remember, the first 5-star he got was really Ryan Williams, right? So Ryan, Keelan Russell, Michael Carroll, Dejon Lee, Ezavier Crowell, Xavier Griffin, and Jireh Edwards. And if you kind of look you put a marker from Dejon Lee down, have all these guys played? Yeah, outside of Keelan Russell, in terms of he's played twice. You want to see the safeties for next year? I think I have. Let me see. I think I have a graphic of the safeties. Let me see. I do. I got so many graphics. It's insane. Let me see if I could bring the safeties up. If I can't, here I got you. But I have an omission on here. I need to add Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. So here's a snapshot at the safeties. Oh, no, I have Dre on here. Someone said that I was missing him yesterday, so it got my mind. But here's a look at the safeties. And this would be if Keon Sabb and Bray come back. I don't know if those guys come back, but I just listed in there question marks, right? And this is for 2026. Like, the grad years are all updated for next year, not right now. If you're thinking about them right now, just subtract, graduation year. I don't know. The way that Keon Sabb played against Auburn, he leave. Bray Hubbard he could leave or he could come back. And the thing is like, what is 3rd round money? Yes, Bray can come back. Yeah, he's a junior. So it's like, can he get money from that retention pot or 3rd or 4th round money? I'd probably come back. I think we all want Bray to come back. Look at the safety room next year. It's crazy. I know. So I was going to, so there's Brayson. Let me see it on portal needs real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. You don't have to answer now, but maybe be thinking about it over the next, week or whatever, next 2 weeks, as we kind of get through playoffs or whatever. It's like portal needs for this team. I listed down tackle, inside backer, kicker. Is there anything else? I know you guys want Cam Coleman, right? Hey, thanks, Chris, for the feedback inside the comment box. Is there any other position? Kicker, inside linebacker, tackle, I guess wide receiver. Even though we have all those receivers coming back, I know you guys want Cam Coleman. The one wide receiver that from the portal that I thought was really, really good, that did a great job here, was Casey Concepcion. Did you guys see him this year for Texas A&M? That guy, man, he'd have been the best wide receiver here, okay? And I know we love our Jerry Bernard. Casey Concepcion is a different cat. Why are we not talking about who will leave through the portal? What's up, Blake? Because we have no idea. It'd just be speculative. If I did a video on that, it would probably get 100,000 views, but it would all be fake news because we have no idea. we can, kind of speculate or kind of wonder about players leaving, but it's just we have no idea. Like, we don't even know if Ty Simpson's coming back. We think he's leaving. People think Austin Mack's leaving. Well, why? Just because they like Keelan Russell? People think Richard Young's leaving. Why? Because he's not playing? Maybe he's just waiting. We went through this for the last 3 years with Ty Simpson. He stayed. Keelan Russell, if Austin Mack starts, he's leaving. Did he tell you that? Because his mom talked to somebody inside the group, and his mom was like, we're never leaving Alabama. So, it's speculative information. Yeah, it's just it'd be fun to talk about. I promise you, dude. I would love to do a video that just gets views, but I'm just at the end of the day, it's just we have no idea. But will guys transfer? I would imagine so. I think a receiver will transfer. I think a running back will transfer. I think I don't know who else. There'll be a handful of transfers for sure. I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine, man. So, anyways, thanks for kicking it with me today on the program. I really appreciate you guys. All the feedback inside the comment box. Remember, if you have a question for me, post it inside the comment box. If you have a different point of view, post it inside the comment box. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for being here. It's been busy for sure. I'm not going to lie. Yesterday was a lot of coverage. Today's a lot of coverage just because you have Coach Kalen DeBoer, Kirby Smart coming up. So I need you guys to turn on your notifications or check back when I upload Coach Kalen DeBoer and Kirby Smart. I'll make sure and boost the audio and make sure everything's tightened up. So when you're listening in, you get the best audio feed because that's what you guys deserve. The best type of content, graphics. I'm trying my best as a one-man operation to give you guys what you deserve. And I really appreciate you guys supporting me, whether that's being a fan funder, super chats, whatever it is. Thank you so much for the support. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Stay tuned for more coverage throughout the day as we get closer to the SEC championship game, and we'll keep you posted. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for kicking it with me this morning right here on Bama Football on YouTube. See you in a few, and next video right here on Bama Football on YouTube.